people, it's your girl Suhaida T coming your way with another exciting and sexy video this week. I am so thrilled to be able to just share all these fantastic stories about my wickedly fun sex life. It's not so fun these days, to be honest, but then I tell you, I have had a wild time and I really enjoyed dishing on them, because when I look back on them, I realize that there are actually very good lessons to learn, and some are just, really entertaining. If this is your first time, thank you so much for tuning in. I assure you that you're about to have yourself one pleasurable experience. And to subscribe, please hit that red button down there. That button, hit it, and hit the bell button so that each time I make a video, you'll be notified. Trust me, I'm all about that juice and you don't want to miss a sip. So this story happened a couple of years ago, and what had happened was I came to work and then I turned on my laptop and this baby will not light up. The power lights would come on but nothing else would show up, and I was panicking because it was barely a year old and I saved up for it, and I was sad. And I am a little Madam Fix It, so I looked up some YouTube videos. I opened it up, I refixed the batteries. I tried a few things, but it was still not working. I tried all the troubleshooting methods. I felt that my expertise will keep me from damaging, and it didn't really take. I was quite devastated. I went to CompuGhana, and I went there because I trusted them. I mean, they are such a big brand. I went to their place. You see their specialists in their lab coats. I sent it, and yeah, motherboard issue, we can't fix it. So I called my friend Adam, and Adam says, I have some laptop technician friends in Circle, some lungu be there. Why don't you go over there and let them take a look at it? I got there and it was just this, nice store on a store building with boys in it. I went and explained my issue, and then they took my laptop and gave it to the technician. There was this guy that passed by and he caught my attention because he was tall and a bit on the, not really heavy, but then he was tall and he had this rugged look about him. So couldn't help but notice. He just passed. So he passed by a few times and I realized he also worked in the shop. I think he was a phone repairer. Then a granite seller, banana seller came by and he bought some. He asked me right out the door, will you eat? I said, oh yeah, sure. People get taken aback when they invite me, a stranger, to food or something. I say, yes, I'll eat. Please don't poison me, but if I'm hungry, I'll eat. I ate it with him till the very end, and we didn't really make conversation while we were eating. We both sat down and then ate the bananas and granules to our heart's content. By now I knew his name. His name was Kamal, so let's call him Kamal. I asked him, Kamal, are you single? And he said, yes, I am. He's like, can I have your number? And he said, okay. So he pulled out his phone. He gave me both his numbers, WhatsApp and whatever. We discovered that we kind of lived around the same neighborhood, so we decided that we'll try and hang out one of these days. But every time we'd set a date, the both of us were either too distracted or just not so invested, but we just never committed to actually showing up, and we made quite a couple of dates. Nothing materialized until this day, this particularly horny period, and that period was filled with me just being horny out of my mind. I didn't know what to do with myself. Hey, it was one of the horniest periods ever. It was difficult, and I couldn't masturbate because all that blood, I'm not really comfortable with it. So I just had to stick it out. And on the day I saw the last spot on the panty liner, I said the next day we must consummate. It must happen. Then I started thinking, who do I call? Then he texts me. This is me, I had gone I don't know, maybe 2 months, 3 months without sex, and for me, for my appetite, it's quite a while. So I was ravenous. So I was just like, why don't I actually like see to it that this hang happens? So I told him that when you close from work, like text so that like we'll rendezvous somewhere and then just go over to yours and then hang out. And he said okay. But after he closed, he texted me, but it seemed like he had other errands to run. So he was just like, you know what, let's meet like at my place. I decided that, well, I'll come later, and if I'm going to come later, you let me know when, because right now you're the one moving the time around. I don't know when you're getting home and all of that. So you are in charge of making sure the hang happens. He says yes. He even like goes like he'll call me and all of that. So I leave it to him, you know. So I'd say 20 minutes after he gets home, he texts me that he got home. So I head out, and then he tells me he's sending the location. The location doesn't come. But I just like head out because it's still the general direction of my house. So I get to a certain point and I realize I still don't have the location. So I text him again, location, nothing. And really, I was hell-bent on not calling. We've tried to meet a few times, it hadn't worked. And this time around, it looked like we were both very committed to making it happen. And you knew I was on my way, so I was expecting some proactivity. I'm a stickler for certain things, and he wasn't just cutting it at that point for me. So I was living on a tiny scale and I was trying to hold myself together, and I was texting this boy, and this boy was like not a single response. After I got to like the final stop, to which I knew that this one I'm going to my house to sleep, and nothing happened, I just carried myself home. And I can't explain how sad I was, because I shaved, okay? And I don't mean like your quick action one, no. Like I spent the whole day taking my time, you know. That morning I just relaxed. I had a fruity breakfast. I pampered and prepared myself for a wild night. I felt really let down because I was really prepared for the day, and I came home and I came to sleep like that. I was so sad. It didn't happen. The next day, I wake up around 7 and then I see text from him, and he's just like, he go home, he sat down and he fell asleep. And I was pretty mad, but I was hornier than mad. So I was like, you know what? It's fine, it happens, but I'm not coming out to you. You're going to have to come out to me. And he said, yeah, sure, I'll be there by 9. When he came here, I was watching Drag Race, and he's Muslim. He's Muslim, and you could see he's very, you know, typical Ghanaian man, very, so he had a lot of questions like, are they men? I was talking it out with him, you know, and also using it as a pulse checker to see how far his homophobia runs, because you know we are all Ghanaians and we are conditioned to be homophobic, so let's be real. He was quite conservative. It wasn't like something he was at home with, but then you could see he had like a great appreciation for kimchi. He loved kimchi. So we're just like inside on the bed. I was, you know, wearing my short skirt, just lying there, because frankly, after what I had been through, I told myself it's either happens or it doesn't happen. I'm not going to like try and stimulate a whole atmosphere. So I was just like reclined on the bed. He was just on the edge of it, and we're watching Drag Race. Then I think it was time for him to head to work. I had the day in, so he came around to say goodbye. And when he came, he was like, oh, go see me off. And I was just like, no, it's very comfortable under the covers. So I like tried to cover my head with the sheets. I felt a hand come down on my vagina, on my vulva, like my mons. I felt the hand just like place itself there. And once it did, I just felt my body just go like, oh. I brought my head up, and then he was like, should I go? And I said, it depends. And he asked, what does it depend on? I was like, I don't do quickies. I don't do quickies. So if you've got somewhere you have to be, I'd rather not. And he said, oh, nah, I have nowhere I want to. That boy was a liar, I'll tell you. He said, oh, nah, he has nowhere he has to be. It's like, okay. If you want to be banged to an inch of your life, and you want to like really feel your body like give out from the intensity of all the pleasure you are receiving, like the very like rough, raunchy, you know, your head getting shoved into a pillow, ass cheeks spread out wide, like really deep pounding. If you want, fuck an artisan or an artist. Fuck people who work with their hands. Fuck a chef. Fuck a guitarist. Fuck a carpenter. They know how to toss your salad. They can toss your salad. They will toss your salad and you will have a very festive time down there. I'm just saying, like, your body will light up like a Christmas tree. That boy lit my body up with just his fingers. He wasn't touching anywhere else. He was just like fingering me, pulled up my skirts. I think I ripped my tongues off in the process, and he was just like, he did a lot. He did a lot, and I know I was beside myself because it had been a while. The look on his face was very serene. It looked like he could do this all day. He just looked very relaxed, very assured. And then I realized my windows were open, so I told him to go and close the windows, lock the door, that kind of thing. And when he came back, he just looked at me, and I looked at him, and then he was like, "Do you want a dick?" Very calm and sober. And I'm telling you, like, that's the sexiest way I've actually been asked, because I wanted a dick. And I'll say this, it was everything. Well, not to exaggerate, but like, it was big. It was a big one. And, you know, it went with his stature, and I try to keep an open mind on sizes. I try not to, you know. So me, the finger action was very good, and for me, it didn't matter what came out, but what came out was glorious. Just reached into my bag, brought out my condom, just, you know, dressed it up. And then, yeah, I got my face shoved somewhere, and I was just like getting it everywhere in the room. It was a very hot, intense. I was screaming. There was a lip sync going on in the background. Feet were all over the place. His hat was out. It was very, very intense. It was very, very intense. But it was short because he had to leave. His phone just kept going off, and he basically left me high, dry, and wanting more. And that's the last time I ever saw him. I think, I don't know. Yeah, it didn't happen again. We tried to make it happen a few more times, but then it just drifted off and it never happened. But yeah, he just basically asked me point blank if I wanted a dick. Well, before that, he made sure that they know what we had to say. It was because his asking of consent was continuous, you know. He got the first one, right? We can move in this direction. And then he moved me in a way that by the time he was asking the second one, yes was the only answer, because I was ready. You get it? I'm just saying, it's fun to check in. And if your partner is having a good time, just ask. It's sexy because they are ready. You get it? And if it's not, perhaps that's not the vibe. Ask anyway, and if it's not, like, take your no. No's are always good to hear. They build character, like I always say. I hope you enjoyed this story. I really enjoyed it. I just felt like I had to share it. It came upon my heart to share it, so there, I have shared it. Have a good one on your girl, and please, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, or if you haven't hit the bell button, hit it on your way out. I enjoyed this. I hope you did too. See you again. Bye.